friends, and welcome to another episode of Coach's Corner. Today's question comes from a LinkedIn friend called Mike. So Mike asks, I'm interested to hear about the various methods and time dedicated to self-care. I think we all understand the importance of it, but I believe it is at or near the bottom of the list for most people on an average day. What are the best practices? Mike also acknowledged that this is a loaded question. So first of all, Mike, thanks for the question. And second of all, yeah, it's a loaded question, as are all of these questions. Otherwise, you would have figured it out already. And I know I've mentioned that before, and I'll continue to mention that again, because I think that we really do beat ourselves up when we have these problems that we identify and we're unable to fix them. So this is the perfect time to reach out and ask for some help. So I'll also start off by saying, I'm doing the fine print before I give you the answer. I'll start by saying that in my 8 and 12 week self-paced coaching program, self-care is a whole week. We dedicate a whole week to self-care. And I'm going to be answering this question in about 3 to 5 minutes, hopefully faster than that. 3 minutes? So keep that in mind as well. I'm talking really generally here, but I am going to give you some specifics at the end too. So that's kind of the caveat here. My thoughts on self-care, I have many of them, shocking, I know. One of them is that we do put it on the bottom of our priority list or our to-do list because we don't see it as a priority. So I encourage you to ask yourself, how important is self-care to you? Well, what is self-care? I equate self-care to health. Self-care involves, in my books, anything that has to do with taking care of my mind, my body, my soul. I used to think that working out was not self-care. It's just well, of course I have to do that to take care of my body. Well, I've changed my thinking on that a little bit. And it goes again back to, I believe self-care, anything that falls within those 3 buckets. Taking care of self kind of makes sense. So I think if we start looking at self-care a little bit differently and more fundamental to us having a long, successful, productive life without ill health, we have to be looking at self-care as part of that. And so that's why I think that it gets dropped off the to-do list and the priority list, is because we actually haven't decided that it's a priority. And in our busy lives, busyness, what's the first thing to go is something that we ourselves are committed to. So that's sort of the mindset piece around self-care and how I view it. And I think that's critical for you to examine before you start then these next steps. So that's, I guess, the first piece is connect, discover, respond in terms of what to do next, is connect with yourself and actually determine if it's something that's of value to you. If you say no, then stop stressing about it. We've got enough stuff to be stressed about. I have some opinions on the fact that it should be on your list, but for the purpose of this, stop stressing about the stuff that you actually have decided, you know what, it's just not a priority for me right now. For those of you who are raising your hand saying, yes, it's a priority for me right now, you're going to discover and then respond. So discover, this is fun. This is a fun part. Set a timer for 5 minutes and write down all the things that connect you to you, that make you feel happy. Usually, it's not exercise related. So the first thing is just to set that timer, write all those things out. Then I'd like you to put them into the categories of, is this mind, body, soul? If this is a new kind of thing for you, mind and soul might be one category. That's fine. The key here is that there are some things on your list that connect you to you. Self-care isn't just about the outside stuff. Real self-care is taking care of the inside stuff. What's an example of that for me? The best way for me to combine 2 of those categories, or all 3, mind, body, soul, is to run in the woods. Being in the woods is food for my soul. So that's an example. So you've got your 5-minute timer set, you've got your list, you've categorized it, and now you need to respond. Best practice, you asked Mike, do something every day. It could be 5 minutes, whatever you can fit in your day. Schedule it, commit to it, and know that you are worth it. This is like a massive, massive topic covered in 5 minutes. I hope there's some value in this. Let me know what you take away from it. And let me know if you have any other questions in the comments below. And finally, my episode yesterday with Instagram star Doc Jen, or Dr. Jenna Scare, we talked about self-care. She's all about that. And I have offered a free giveaway, a 3-month access to her program. So if you want to know how to get in on that and to win that, listen to the episode. I'll drop that link in the comments below too. Have an awesome day, friends. Thanks for the questions, and see you next week. Bye.